Hi everyone. It would be that we're going to be opening our first show as Leanne and Roz with the Tuesday Intuitive Chat with technical difficulties. Because at the moment, Leanne, I've got her in the broadcast. We're going to be opening our first show as Leanne and Roz with the Tuesday Intuitive Chat with technical difficulties. Because at the moment, I've got an echo back on somewhere. Leanne, I've got her in the broadcast. So apologies while we sort this out. I wanted to actually start. I actually wanted to start on time. We knew we were going to have some fun here. So while we get it sorted,
my volume's turned down.
Hope you have some patience. I'm still trying to get my...
Hi, Roz. I can't see you, but that's all good. I can see through my computer.
Yeah.
My other computer. And how are you?
I'm fine. One of the things that I'm trying to do
too, Leanne, Roz.
You can't hear me. Oh, gosh. We've got two viewers there. I can't see comments because I can't seem to get my video up.
I'm not sure what's going on, but I can't hear you, Roz.
Oh, dear. You might not be able to, but the audience might, Leanne. So I think this might have been something like an issue. Hopefully whoever's watching out there is really patient with these technical things happening. I'm not sure why Leanne can't hear me. And at the moment, I'm trying to get it up on my mobile so I can see what the actual posts, what the comments might be, because at the moment, I can't see them actually on my screen. So far there's not anyone actually commenting yet, so that's good. It means I don't have to worry about that for the moment. Refresh the broadcasts. Adair, how do we do that? Just go the little circle that does the thingy and then we lose it all, or what's the go with that? So there, I'm just showing that because we do need to do this, okay? So that's both of us. Let's hope that works. I don't know whether it will. I'm doing it that way. It is showing for me that the broadcast is still going. So, so just wondering with Leanne, if you are back there, I'm just going to resend a link to Leanne, just in case that's got lost somewhere along the line too. Oh, this is fun. The learning out loud. Great stuff, Adair. Glad you got us into this one. I'm enjoying it. I do still enjoy it. So hopefully Leanne will be able to get back in on that. And I can say, yes, we're back, are we? Oh, there you go. See, there. Thanks, Adair, for letting me know that. We're back. Well, I'm back. I have only got the one tab. Well, I've got two tabs open. I've done all the clearing cache and that sort of thing. So it is ready to go effectively, but there has been some screen freezing and things like that. So just learning how to do this scroll back of comments too. And I'm not quite sure when that was. I think that was a comment that was from a previous time. No, that's a showing that one. which one am I showing? It really is all a learning experience. So very distracting, actually. I don't know how you do it, Adair, as far as I'm concentrating on looking through that camera, looking down here so that it doesn't look like I'm looking down at my phone to follow the track of what comments are coming in. And that is very interesting. Leanne's still not back. The delay is interesting because I clicked that one quite a while back. And it looks like Leanne's coming back in. I think she's in the lobby, so we'll have a show. And hopefully this time without the techie stuff in the background that we can't hear each other and all of that. Yes, it's going to need to be just a little bit more of a wait. One of the things that when we decided we'd do a regular show, we are, it is planning to be a weekly show. And, I'm not sure if Leanne, I've just hit that she's coming up into the broadcast, but the screen that I've got looks like it might be the back cover of her something.
That'd be right.
You might
need to on my laptop. So I'll just unplug all my equipment.
This learning. So what the camera broadcast? A different camera.
Yeah, I'll come in on my laptop with that, but my desktop, okay. I'm sitting in the lobby in the desktop. So will that allow you to? You can cut.
Yeah, you're coming in. Yep. Yeah, you're coming in. Okay. But I'll drop the laptop because it's a black screen. Don't really need that one. So that looks like it's a little bit better, but you haven't got volume. Hold on. I'm just going to put the laptop back up in there.
Beautiful. Turn the sound back on.
How we put the laptop back up in there.
Beautiful. Turn the sound.
Now which one is the sound? From the laptop or the other one? Now which one is the sound?
Let me turn the laptop off.
Yeah.
Okay. Can you hear me now?
Yeah. Yes. Yeah, we can hear you now.
Hello.
And that looks it sounds really clear. Can you hear me, Leanne? It seems like you can't hear me this time.
Oh my God.
Which is what we had as an issue before. But with any plans that we can all have, they can get a bit splotchy. As far as organising this with the technology, it was working yesterday. And we had tested it because Leanne actually does have a new Yeti microphone. She got that especially to set up for future broadcasts that we're planning. And the testing was fine. Right now, it looks like it could be a bit of an issue. Yeah, laughing out loud. No, it's not. It's learning out loud. So currently, just be patient. It's lovely to have patience for taking in that deep breath and letting it out and taking it in again, because what else can you do? And I love that hint, Adair. Keep smiling. And I know with this one that lag is going to show up a bit later on my iPhone, not my phone, on the phone one. Has that backup. Just so funny. So funny seeing it like that. Because the comments are going through fairly fast, I'm not sure if it's going to be something that I can handle as a newbie to this, being able to follow conversation as such, but we'll give it our best go anyway. Annette's here. Hi. We know that Adair is. And there are other viewers, but I'm still not quite sure where I find any details about that. At the moment, it's not really a concern, as we hopefully have Leanne being able to be on board fully with hearing me, all of us hearing her. I'm assuming that I can be heard by you out there. So if just someone could say, yes, my voice is being heard, that'd be good, Adair or Annette. And hopefully when and hopefully, I like that one, Ross, don't feel bad. The biggest up came when I was interviewing Mark. The first time wasn't, nothing worked. Oh, how wonderful. I don't feel so bad. And yeah, as the first one of these, I didn't really want it to go bad. It won't. We'll get it nutted out. And Leanne, when she can hear me, I don't know how to fix that because I've done all that I can with reset and refresh and clear cache and the rest. So let's hope that it works. In a moment, is the Yeti plugged in and all that stuff, I presume. Ah, that's good. Thank you.
Hey!
Thanks, Adair. Good. So can you, oh, where'd she go now? I've had her disappear just then. I think she's gone back to the... she slipped into the lobby somehow. Oh, that's funny. You're there?
Yeah.
You are there and you can be heard. And can you hear me?
You can hear me, but you can't see me, right?
That's right.
Okay.
Yes. Can see you on the live... Hopefully.
I'm running through.
No, you disappeared.
Things. Hang on a sec.
Yeah.
So you can hear me through my laptop, but you can't see me through my laptop at the moment.
Yes. So maybe it's the Yeti.
No, I think it's the internet here. We have a lot of rough weather at the moment. Let me load my camera through my desktop and see if I can use 2 devices to talk to you and see you.
Well, that's going to make for a really interesting learning out loud moment, having the 2 devices going on the broadcast. It could be something as a learning out loud for others who come in that have similar situations happen if they have 2 devices to use them in a similar way.
Usually when I'm on the other end of the dashboard, I can do it all on my laptop. But I am having buffering issues here today, which I presume is from all this really heavy wind that we're having at the moment.
Yeah.
So I would say that's got something to do with it. My desktop is going so slow, and I'm just trying to bring up the link so I can come through the lobby that way, so you can see me.
Yes.
So
yeah, because at the moment,
if it works,
we can't see you. And currently I could probably just go, what does that do? Oh, that does that. I'm just playing with the little buttons, people. just just seeing what the different effects are.
Our technical issue. We did have it on before, but I had buffering issues and it just seemed to drop out. There's got to be a way on my laptop to turn the camera around. And I thought I had done that, but when I came on to Be Live, it still has it facing backwards. So is that something that is chosen in that little cog before turning the camera on? See, I can't see the cog on my end. Not until you drop down, but you probably need to, Please drop me down for a second and I'll have a look. Yes. We've done that. So a little bit of activity in the lobby, but at the moment, Leanne's just going to be trialing, testing out her camera settings and see if that will bring her back where we can actually see Leanne. So anyway, as a potluck, what we've got for today, our aim is actually for these chats to be something that we pick up rather than planning anything too far in front, besides the fact that we're scheduling the event every Tuesday, 10:30 a.m., that whatever comes to us intuitively for a subject discussion or something that's caught our interest through the week or anything at all like that, that's what the whole idea is, as calling it our Tuesday Intuitive Chats. So it is the potluck. It's I had a reference through the week. I can't even remember where that was for, to be
like the dirt in a vacuum cleaner bag, we can let it get too full. So we don't want to have too much of that planning in front. We want it to be free and easy and whatever crops up. So got an interesting one today in this technical stuff. Are you ready, Leanne, to go out to broadcast? Do you think? I'll take you up. I still can't hear you. Can the audience hear you? I'll just take you up to the broadcast. Now I can hear you. Can the audience?
I can hear you very faintly.
Oh gosh. Let's see if there's any comments.
I can hear you through the Yeti now. All right. Let's go with that.
Well, it depends where your headset's plugged in. Was it plugged into your computer or to the Yeti microphone? The front of that
I'm plugged
microphone.
into the Yeti. This one's the Yeti. This one's the laptop.
Yeah. So we have no laptop.
So I was plugged into two different areas.
Yeah. So where are you plugged into now then?
The desktop. Just to confuse things, hey.
I was also thinking, there's always more than one meaning to anything. I was thinking a bit more of spirit.
It was a laptop and it was going. Exactly. I call it technology. Everything is technology when it comes to electronics in my house. And that is the joy of working with spirit. So as long as you can hear me, I probably don't need my glasses on because I'm fogging up now.
Oh, I do.
I was trying to get power cords for the laptop because it was running flat. And,
Yes, well, I found that
I'm not touching anything now. It's working. We'll go with it.
And I'm the one who is actually
you've got the comments.
Trying to stop the reflection on my glasses too. I'd forgot the little trick, but my lighting's in a different place, so it might not work. Yes, I'm in control. I'm at the helm. I have the back end of it, so hopefully it all goes well.
You are. Exciting.
It is, isn't it? And one of the things I've just noticed.
I'm sure it will.
I
guess you sort of explained why I was trying to get online and we get the technology sorted, what we're all aiming for.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
I've just realised I haven't frozen, not that I can tell, but I have just noticed I haven't got the agenda there. I had an agenda prepared and it's now not showing. So there's another tease that Spirit's given me for the back end. Well, part of the agenda was the introduction.
That could be because you had to reload her.
Oh, probably was. I don't know. We'll learn it for next time.
Yeah, beautiful.
So, Leanne, if you
maybe
want
we're just meant to wing it.
Yeah, we are winging it. Yeah. Yeah, we're winging it. So if you'd like to introduce, how we did say something this morning that I've already forgotten about the introductions. You go for it, hon. Right. Do you want to go introduce yourself and what your aim was in doing all the, doing a weekly?
So would you like me to introduce myself? Was that what you were saying? It's just buffering again.
Yeah. The lag is interesting. It's causing me an issue. You right to go? Or have you frozen? I've got you frozen on my screen.
Yep. It's I think it's just buffering a little bit again as well.
No, it's okay.
I'll be like a little puppet.
Yeah.
I'm frozen, am I?
Not now.
It's all right. Hopefully everybody else can hear me still, but I'm Leanne Winston, Psychic Medium. I'm back. You're frozen on my screen, but I think it's the buffering sort of side of stuff. And unfortunately, we couldn't have predicted this rough weather out here. You would have hoped that the internet would have been much stronger with this. This is Telstra. Gotta love it. So anyway, if you can hear me, I am Leanne Winston, Psychic Medium. I'm based here in the Adelaide Hills. I connect with with those passed over. I talk to dead people, so to speak. I love that saying, and my kids keep throwing that around as well. But I also, alongside of talking with dead people, can do the mediumship side, the psychic side of stuff. Sorry, guys, I'm doing two things at once. My laptop has decided it wants to join in as well, so I'm just trying to see if I can turn my camera around on that, as that doesn't seem to be buffering as much as my desktop. Can you hear me there, Roz?
I can hear you.
Bye, family.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Excellent. Just as I say goodbye to my family walking out the door. You will have to excuse their noises. They will go in a sec. But, yeah, so I don't know if you heard the introduction. Okay, they're gone.
Sorry.
Oh, my God. I say keep the noise down.
It's like when you tell them when they're little that you want to talk on the phone, be really quiet, and that's when they'll make the loudest noise.
Oh, exactly.
So you're ready
I
to
said to my
continue
husband, I'm going live in 10 minutes. You need to keep your noise down. So he decided to do the dishes. And yes, I got the house to myself.
Oh, looks like there might be a little bit freezing. Yeah.
All right. Would you like me to start again?
Yes, please.
I would have said one good thing with the family gone out. Nobody else is using the internet.
That's true. That is true.
It is very delayed today, isn't it?
It is.
It's crazy. So I just found my cog. So on my laptop, I can now go to the front camera. Would we like to go over to the laptop, Roz, and we'll see if that's any better?
Yes, we can do that. I'm just poking a comment in the comment stream. I just found, I think I can do that, but it will be as My Time TV Live, I think. I'm not sure how that comes out. How does it come out? Yes, it does. My Time TV Live.
And you can hear me all right?
Yeah, now I'll just drop. Which one am I dropping down?
Just let me get my volume up on the laptop.
We've got
just so I can hear
I like
you.
that effect. Isn't that wonderful?
You got two of me.
I wonder if I can swap it so that I'm in the middle.
Yeah, you probably could, you know. There we go. You're welcome to drop the other one.
Oopsie, hang on. I've done something different.
Yep, that might be me because I turned off my Yeti.
Is that the right one that I've dropped down to the lobby?
Yes. Yep.
Right.
You're right. Excellent.
Right, so you can close that one out.
Yeah. I'm not going to touch anything just in case. I'll deal with the other screen later on.
That's okay.
All right. Nothing like a first week to get off and running, but we probably have lost a little bit of time due to technical issues. But, what's meant to be is meant to be. So I'm just aware of what my hair's doing around this headset. So, excellent. Well, do you want to lead or?
Oh, I'll just do an intro around the show. As if we've started again at 11 o'clock instead of 10:30 with all the issues. But we are going to need to be limited to that full hour of what our schedule was initially anyway, but that's okay.
Yeah.
The whole idea was to just have a Tuesday intuitive chat, as I've written up in the description. And what Leanne and I have decided is to do it on a Tuesday through the day, because there might be the people who have opportunity in daytime that don't get the opportunity at the evening one. So I'm hosting the Tuesday day one, and Leanne is still hosting and running her Wednesday evening psychic readings. that's about right, isn't it, Leanne?
That's perfect. Right on.
Yeah. And with that, we're just taking whatever comes to mind that Spirit leads us to for the chat topic. This morning, what came to my mind, it actually was yesterday, really, because I was just so, sometimes with this cold weather, you really feel peckish for something. And I didn't feel like savoury stuff because I like chips and crisps. Shows what my diet is a bit like. It's not all the time, I can tell you that. I do eat healthy a lot of the time. And the other thing was sometimes I like chocolate. Well, I didn't want either of them. I just wanted lollies. So what I thought for today it was going to be, can I have a bag of mixed lollies, please? And it almost comes up with what Adair said as far as we promised potluck. So today is a bag of mixed lollies and you've got it.
And we started with technical issues.
Oh, yeah. We've had the technical issues. That should be the end of them for any of our future shows. Can't guarantee it, but we'll try our hardest. So welcome everyone that's watching. Now that it seems to have settled down and Leanne is there ready to introduce herself and how she's been led into or experienced her psychic mediumship and whatever Leanne wants to share as her bit of mixed lollies.
Okay, excellent. And the same thing sort of happened to me this morning in the shower as well, thinking, okay, we probably need to start off with talking about intuition and how we came about it. So Ros and I have sort of been on the same part in that same thought without the communication side of it in that way. I'm Leanne Winston, psychic medium anyway. For those that don't know me, welcome to our show and thank you for your patience with our technology sort of side of it as well. I've basically been born with the gift, and we all have the gift. I mentor people as well, so that's one thing I quite often say to people is we all have the gift. It's about fine-tuning it and learning how we all work. For me as a child, I thought what I seen was what everybody else seen, and I guess I had a really good imagination, and that was probably now, knowing what I know now or have learnt over the last 10 odd years, that was my intuition, that was my connection with people that were passed over. Back as a child, I didn't really see people, so to speak. I would get shadows and different stuff, and I guess I was told there's no monsters under the bed, there's no imaginary friends and that sort of thing. So I guess that's the way I was sort of seeing spirit. And it wasn't until probably high school that I really used that to my advantage with my storytelling and creative writing and stuff like that. I just had the thoughts, I wrote down what came to me, this sort of thing. But it was more when I was pregnant back in 1990. What is she? She's born in 1999 with my oldest daughter that I literally started seeing faces, bodies, not just the shapes anymore. So it became more heightened. So, and it's just sort of grown from there. Spirit has taken over. It's been crazy and it's been an amazing journey at the same time. So, Spirit has put me in front of so many people like yourself, Ros, and other incredible people that it brings together. It's kind of like I always say we've got our blood family and then we've got our spiritual family sort of thing.
Yeah.
And we make those connections. It's incredible.
Yeah, fully agree with that. We are attracting to ourselves the tribe we need to be in. Oh, well, if tribe's the word that you want to use, community, group, whatever. I mean, we do. For myself, when I was young, I mean, I wouldn't say I haven't ever said that I was born with this gift or anything. I just started to see things as in it was just the shadow, the flick through the side of the eye of things.
Peripheral vision.
Yeah, it was. It was in the peripheral vision mostly. Sometimes I'd have someone sitting on the end of my bed. At that stage, I didn't know or understand or feel who it was or anything. It was just something that was happening and on and off over time until I was a teenager and did play around with seance at one time, one or two times actually, 3 or 4 maybe, but it was interesting and the last one was scary, so leave that alone. But it certainly did give an indication there was something in me that was more than just what a physical body is, and that there was a connection with spirit. Brought up in a very strong Methodist Christian household and the rest. My first tarot set that I bought safe with my own money, my pocket money, because we used to get paid pocket money for milking cows, feeding calves, that sort of stuff on a farm, as one did back then. Dad threw them out. It was all nasty. But it's just something that's, even now, that the more mature I'm getting, it's just something you can't deny, that there's that connection. So open up and learn as we go what Spirit has for us. So, and that, like you said, we do find our people when we're actually opening up to growing with Spirit and trusting and taking direction sometimes, ignoring them other times. You know better than I do how that is.
Yeah, definitely. Actually, Ros, just a question, and this might be a bit more of a personal question for you, but it might help other people to understand as well. When you were being forced to ignore Spirit, so to speak, because of the religious upbringing, did you find that it would affect you in different ways? Like, I find quite often some of my clients get anxiety, they get depression because they are ignoring that.
Look, there was a time when I was the teenager, it would have been around I think 14, 15, that I became quite, what's the word, recalcitrant and a little rebellious around certain things. I can remember there's one photo I remember very specifically where I was as sour as, and you could tell, God, what a little bitchy teenager that one is. And I sort of, looking back at it, at the time I was just going through the experience of being the teenager and not liking what was happening. So the emotions would have been a bit of anger and a bit of that. Physically, I don't think it affected me all that much, but, how much do we remember of those years?
Well, that's the thing too, as well. But it's more now that I'm sort of seeing that those people that have the intuition, that have been forced to block it, whether it's by their own choice or their upbringing. And there's nothing wrong with religion. I feel that it's, for myself, I believe it's got a place, and what is right for whoever, whether it's religion, it's, whatever, it's a spiritual path, that's a whole, conversation in itself. We go with what fits us at that time. But I just find that it seems these days, a lot of this, look at our kids with anxiety and depression. A lot of kids these days, they're here to teach us. They know better than we do, in a sense, but it's kind of like the anxiety, the Spirit takes over and they shut it down, so the anxiety kicks in. So, there's with any of what the illnesses are, and honestly, from when I was in those early 20s, 30s, bringing up my own kids, the number of what was illnesses and diseases and all of that sort of stuff, you hardly heard of anything that's now coming out with the medical industry, because I see it as an industry. Only my personal opinion. I've gone through enough of it already. It's like the bag of lollies. Take your pick. Which one am I going to have now? Sorry, it's just my opinion. But it is still something that these kids, that the people, it's not just kids, it's the anxiety levels across, because anxiety cuts down. When you cut things down, there's only two things. It's love and fear. When you cut it down to what's behind, the physical stuff, there's something that's emotional. There's something that could be carried back from the genetic imprints and all that we've learned as we've moved forward. Now it's not just a physical thing. It's not just a mental health thing. We are a body, many bodies. Yeah, I think you hit the nail on the head there when you said fear too, because a lot of the time we fear what we can't see or what we don't understand. And that's, where the anxiety comes in, sort of thing. So I guess, and I'm a mother with a daughter that suffers with anxiety. I can say that because I know safely she won't be watching, because I know I'll get told off with that. But she is very intuitive, and she's choosing not to listen to her intuition at the moment, where the anxiety is kicking in. So I guess as a parent, talking to any other parents that are listening or rewatching this video, encourage your children to talk, keep the communication lines open, allow them to acknowledge what they're feeling in a safe place, and that will start to help as well. There's so many places you could go with that. That could be a whole show on its own. Children with intuition itself. We know what it was like, Roz, as adults, finding our feet in this gift, I guess you want to call it, or however people make reference to it.
Yeah, and even as an adult, we do have the better understanding because of our life experiences that around learning and testing and challenging ourselves with how we are actually doing that learning process, which comes to mind, the course that we did with Lisa Williams, or that I did. It certainly did have its challenges, but it's something that, it's still learning. The biggest thing I would say is it comes back to that trust, and trusting that you're on the right path, trusting that what you're sensing, hearing, seeing, tasting even is real, and it's what you're getting from spirit for the messages for other people. It took a bit for me to actually step into that trust. It still does a bit even now, but it's that growing process as we move forward with it too. So
it is. And trust and surrender. I'm always saying that to my students. Just trust what you get. First thoughts, go with it, sort of thing. I think you've sat through some of my workshops in the past as well, and it's a big thing. Trust. I guess anything in life is trust, and just surrender and go with it. So it's incredible the way it works.
Yeah. I think too, going back to it, what I feel for me is the two biggest things. We can't break everything back down into just two things, but the basis for me, it's love. Love conquers everything. It is the vibration that's above all. And if it's not love, it's just fear. Fear of, which causes the anxiety and all that sort of thing. And the ways that we can actually get back to that point where we are sitting in that full trust and knowing and love energy. So, and we all have different ways of doing that. So, and that's exciting.
It is, and we forever are learning and growing. But I think sometimes it's important just to go back to your basics and build up again from there as well. So it just helps to strengthen the whole lot in that side of it. So how are we going for comments, Roz? We got anybody asking a question?
No, there's not questions yet. As far as anything that is of the wanting a reading or anything, probably because that's not something that we've put in our description stuff as much as a focus. It is something that can be developed as we get into progressing this forward through the weeks.
Even if people want to ask questions. That's the thing. But even if, like in shows to come, because I know when we'll be out of time in about 20 minutes, even if people in the future shows want to jump on and ask questions about the subjects we're talking, rather than actually connecting with spirit more so with that side of it, so we can help others to learn and to grow at the same time.
Just going through my mind even now is because there is so much that you can delve into with learning where your connection is with spirit and what ways that you can connect in with spirit, and not just to make it a show about psychic mediumship, who knows where it's going to go. But as far as
Exactly.
that bag of mixed lollies that I sort of was really craving yesterday, because I really do like the sugary, those lolly bananas and the milk bottles.
Oh yeah,
and those teeth.
my favourites.
Oh, we share the same likes with the lollies.
You need to come on the road with us, Roz, because when I'm doing live shows, there's always a bag full of chips, 2 or 3 packets of lollies. You might get some mixed nuts, but you definitely get chocolate in there as well, sort of thing.
Yeah.
So
Yes.
that's either for the driving or
no, you go.
I was going to say
instead of the healthy mixed trail mix.
Yeah.
I like the mix you're talking about. It's not the trail mix, it's our mix. The mixed bag of lollies. Yes.
Yeah, you might find a fresh banana occasionally in the mix.
Oh, that's healthy. Yeah, that's healthy. So as far as connecting that as what's the similarities? If you put your hand in that bag of mixed lollies right now, what do you think you'd pick up from that bag of mixed lollies that is, that is a gem for your psychic, what you've brought out from when your past history, for instance, or something that is, just dip your hand in and pull out a lolly.
I guess my lolly would be my dictionary, sort of thing, if that makes sense, because we all have a life. We've all lived, we've all experienced a lot of things. So Spirit draws on our dictionary, on our life experience to sort of share. So I guess that one sort of comes up for me all the time in the way that my referencing and stuff comes through. So, and that's all part of our intuition and how Spirit works. Does that make sense?
That's a really good comparison. I like that. Because my dip into the bag of mixed lollies instantly came the times where you can actually spend me time. I just picked that, like the little icon that I used for our event was just something that I found as I don't know, it's an emoticon creator type thing that's like an avatar-y thing for you. So that cartoony thing is how I perceive I look in what the choices were for that, right? And I chose the me time because it is, as we are viewing these types of videos, it is actually that you're spending me time.
Definitely.
But my me time tends to be more, and that's what's special for me because it's not often enough really, but it happens when it's most needed, that you just sit and it's like that staring into space factor, but most of the time it's over water. That's where I really gain that connection most. The strong connection with Spirit, with the God, that whatever you want to name your connection, that's soul to cosmos, for instance.
So would you say
it's
the
just
water
that time.
Yeah. Would you say the water grounds you, keeps you grounded?
Look, I actually feel for myself it is a grounding, but it's actually more a grounding to what, for me, I sense as being a past life that was a really, really strong one, and that probably still hasn't resolved into where I am at the present moment, because it just feels still that there's a and I wouldn't say it's a twin soul connection that's missing or whatever. It just feels like there's something still to come from that's yet to be experienced, and in this lifetime. So I know that it's there, and that's where that time that's me time seems to be connecting me to that. So it is grounding, but not so much to the physical here. It's past life stuff. That's what, it really is fun. It's just that, like when watching The Matrix as a movie, trying to get
Yeah.
that concept of programming and all of that connection that was the thoughts and creation of who wrote that and, you know, that directed it and produced it and all the rest. It's very much how the mind works. This one works.
Yeah.
Trying to suss it, and it's just so me time in doing that, and just being the me, the be, and contemplating. Well, I am.
Yeah, and that's the thing. It's important to be you. We've got to travel that journey because it's our journey. It's not anybody else's journey to impact, I guess, sort of thing either. And that's one thing that I've noticed coming up in my clients lately is that, you know, a lot of people in the past have had to be somebody they're not or somebody they don't want to be to suit others. And there comes a time in your life where you need to put your foot forward and stand, I guess, in your power, in your strengths, and stay true to yourself. And I guess as we've come, and for myself, as I've come along this spiritual journey, that has been part of my learning as well is, you know, I'm a mother, I'm a wife, I'm a sister, a daughter, you know, the whole lot, an auntie. I've got all that stuff there that I am in my family, but in doing that, it's still staying true to my beliefs and, you know, I'm not going to mold and fit these days. I probably did 10, 15 years ago, but these days it's being me. And if you don't like what you see, and I guess that's where I've struggled over the years with body image as well, where I've become more at peace with that side of it. You know, it comes up at times, but I acknowledge it, I accept it, and I let it go. This sort of thing. And we follow that journey wherever it takes us. But it's, you know, it's being strong in that journey.
Yeah. And it certainly does. Well, we can't be who we are now without having had those past experiences, each one of us. So, you know, whatever they are, it's certainly creating us as unique individuals with all our little bits and pieces, whether they be small bits and pieces or big bits and pieces.
Exactly. And that's the thing. And Spirit's just reminding me, you know, I look at some of these younger kids, teenagers that are coming out and they're exploring their intuition and they're putting labels on themselves and stuff like that. I think, you know, I had a young lady say to me, "Oh, I'm a medium," sort of thing. I do readings and stuff, but when she was put under the pressure to do it, she couldn't really do it. And I'm thinking, this isn't the fact that you don't have that intuition; it's the fact you don't have the life experience to give you the what I call the dictionary for your references in that way. But I look at kids at, you know, 15, 16, 17. I think this girl was about 16. I'm thinking, my God, if she could keep that intuition growing and just allow life to happen, she's going to be an amazing medium in another 10 years when she's experienced life. So I can imagine what it's going to be like in 10, 15 years time with these up and coming people behind us and sort of thing. They'll blow us out of the water for sure.
Yeah, and certainly to continue encouraging them to grow and be the best that they can be in that field. I think too also that the willingness to learn and listen to those who are their mentors and the elders. You know, with the older cultures, there were the elders to teach the young ones to come up in their communities. I just started a book last night, The Medical Medium. When you say, you know, there are so many that are starting a lot younger than I was even aware of from when I was at that age. There weren't many that were saying, "Oh, I'm a medium" or "I'm psychic." No way. I was just considered weird, especially when we were doing the seances. But anyway, it was.
I can imagine that.
Oh, look, it was so funny. The last one we ever had, I have to share this. I drove past that home because we rented a farmhouse. It was sort of not out in the middle of the sticks. It was still on the same road as where Mum and Dad built the new house on the farm. But we had to rent one while that was happening because it was in the same location as the old one that we did live in. And we were just in the kitchen, and I knew I'd seen the peripheral vision, ghosties and all that sort of stuff. So I thought, one night, it was a Saturday night, Mum and Dad up in the lounge room, us girls and a couple of friends were there. I think we had a sleepover with a couple of friends. My boyfriend at the time, who ended up being my husband. We were there doing the thing, and, the fingers on the cup and the glass, and it was moving around, and we'd connected with spirit. Well, he went walking out very quietly to the kitchen window outside and down the fly screen with his fingernails. We just scattered. It's the last time I've done a seance. I don't want to do them anymore. It was really freaky, spooky. He had connected, and oh my, it was just so funny but horrible at the same time, because you didn't see girls scatter faster than like it was a flash of light. So and now I've lost my train of thought, but teenagers, as far as developing and growing their skills, being aware, and respectful of it as well. I think sometimes I've noticed there's not the respect sitting there. Not that I'm an aged, real experienced. I'm only just opening up to mine after all these years. But it really surprised me how the opening of this book from the medical medium was he'd had it since he was 4 and it just didn't go away. He had no option but to accept what he was experiencing.
And that's the thing, and I think the same thing with me. It was probably around that starting school that I was sort of more aware than what I was earlier on in the peaceful. I guess it probably takes me back to one of my first memories, sort of being around that age with what I remember these days. But the kids these days are so lucky because there's more people like yourself and I and others out there that are there to help them to learn, to find out how they fit, so to speak, and how they work. When you and I grew up, we didn't have that support. My dad is can be quite intuitive, but he fights it. He doesn't want to really know about it. But it becomes, and my mum's very open to this stuff as well. But it wasn't until I started coming more to the forefront with it that they started to talk about it and what they had experienced. Because back then you didn't talk about stuff like that, where kids, they've got us to support them. And, when we had the centre, we had the kids workshop every week, and it was amazing watching those kids grow and to be in that safe place for an hour where they could say anything or do anything, and knowing that other kids were feeling the same things.
Amazing, isn't it?
It is.
I mean, I think, and it doesn't really matter what time, what age you come to it either. It's the allowing. The perfect time will be when it happens. It's not something that really you can push. You'll know what's the right time to be open and aware to it anyway. Even when. Yeah.
I was just sorry, Ros, I cut in then. Delay bit. I was still getting used to that. I think sometimes we've got to experience certain things in our lives as an adult for that to move or to open up, that we're ready to work with it. So
some of our experiences are there for a reason. Absolutely. To trigger or open up.
Do you remember what opened yours up again?
No, I don't remember it. I think it's just been an awareness that it's there, and I thought, it should be that Lisa Williams course looks all right. And I applied. I think that might have been it. It's just something that flipping through and having met Nicole and seeing her name connected with it, and you've done it as a certification and. Do you ever use it? Probably not. But the techniques and all the rest, you learn.
Well, and that's the thing. I think we learn from different people and we make it our own sort of thing. So, but for me, it was being pregnant with my oldest daughter, whether it was just how mums get so tired and worn out, that adjusting period and all that side of it. That's where mine really come to the forefront, that I could no longer ignore it in the way that I guess I had been prior to that. So she's nearly 19. So
Yeah.
and
Yeah,
so I
I
guess it's
think-
only the last 10 years it's been more professional.
Yeah.
So,
And I think too that honestly, everybody has the ability to connect in the way that they have, undiscovered for most, but it's in everyone because we're all one in that cosmic humanity connection. There's no getting away from that because we are. So you know how aware each one is. You need the mix. You need the mixed lollies. Really, that bag needs to be there to hold the whole lot as it's a mix. So you know,
and that bag just keeps getting bigger and bigger as we get older and go along this journey because we never stop growing, we never stop learning. So you know, we just keep adding a different flavour into the mix, so to speak.
Yes,
so,
some are nicer than others.
But then I believe we can experience some of those other things for a reason, and it comes back to knowledge. That's
Absolutely.
it. So
it comes back to that balance and yet the yin and yang. So I've
for
just
sure.
oh, hi Alicia. Yeah, so we are coming up to nearly that hour that we have as an allocation. Now, I have put the links to our Facebook pages in the description of this event. I'm pretty sure I did do that. So if anyone wants to connect to either you or I on the Facebook pages, that is there. Otherwise, just do a search on our names because at the moment I haven't set it up any differently yet to make it really easy. And I'm still learning about the chatbot stuff and all that. So I'll get there and my page will be perfect.
It's all work in progress. It's all growth. The other thing we can do, Roz, is put in the comments after the show our website and pin it to the top as well.
Oh, yeah.
So that's an easy
I'll
way
be
for
learning
people
how
to go straight to it.
Good.
Yeah.
I'll learn how to do that too then. We have a very good teacher with Adair and the Code Breakers. I'm going to plug that. And all the avenues that we've got for learning is immense. I mean, technology being what it is, open yourself up to learning in whatever way Spirit guides you. Trust it.
Exactly. It doesn't matter how scary it is. And we do have to say thank you for Adair for allowing us to have this weekly segment on My Time TV Live. I said that right, didn't I? My Time. Yeah.
I think you did.
It's a mouthful. I think I did that. You said it'll roll off the tongue eventually. I think we're getting there with that side of it. So I look forward to doing this each week and just taking it as it comes. And I guess people can certainly contact us with subjects if they'd like us to talk or help grow their knowledge on a certain subject. We're certainly open to
and share the heck out of the video wherever the share button is.
Exactly, and we may even look at cross-posting this to YouTube and stuff down the track as well, now that hopefully we've got the technical issues sorted.
When I learn how to do it.
But we certainly couldn't help the internet buffering today, sort of thing. And it looks like the weather has calmed down a little bit out there because it's not buffering like it was an hour ago, sort of thing.
Yes, I'm hoping the weather will stay reasonably good for this afternoon because there's a old school friend's one of her family has passed, so there's a funeral this afternoon here. So. We celebrate life and what we experience as we're going through it is all about living and living the best that we can. So what other reason are we here for? You might find the answer, share it with us.
Make the most of the time we've got.
It's this lifetime.
And that's it. Okay. All right, Roz, I think we're out of time. So thank you, everybody, for joining in. And certainly you can watch this back as a replay, and you'll have to excuse the technology issues we had due to bad weather and signal earlier on. But it's been a pleasure. I look forward to doing this.
Forward.
Especially with the replay.
Fast forward to the spot. I
reckon it was probably about 25 minutes in.
It's been lovely. Thank you for sharing time, and to those who are watching, who have watched us live, and those who are going to watch in the future. Look forward to the next one.
Excellent.
So I'll finish
Tuesday,
it there.
10:30.
10:30.
Thank you.
Thank
Bye,
you.
Anne.
Bye. When it comes up.